Make sure the lobby is dry before the client meeting. If someone slips and there's a claim, it comes out of the facility's budget. That means
Yes, ma'am. I'll get it dry.
see that you do.
See that you do.
Nobody in that building knew they were talking to the man who could fire all of them. The cars pulled up one after another, black, polished, expensive. Outside the glass tower in downtown Dallas, Texas, it looked like a parade of success. Men in tailored suits stepped out checking their phones. Women in blazers walked fast, clicking heels against the pavement like they owned every inch of it. Nobody looked up. Nobody noticed the young guy walking in from the far end of the parking lot. His name was Ethan. He wore faded gray pants and a wrinkled shirt, old sneakers that had seen too many miles, a worn backpack that looked like it belonged in a high school hallway, not a corporate office. He walked slowly, head slightly down, eyes watching everything. If you had passed him on the street, you would have assumed he was lost. That was exactly what he wanted. Ethan had just returned from 3 years abroad. 2 in London, finishing his MBA. 1 in Singapore, doing a grueling internship at one of the top logistics firms in Southeast Asia. He spoke 4 languages. He understood supply chains, risk management, corporate governance. He had turned down 2 job offers from Fortune 500 companies. And now he was here in a janitor's uniform, holding a mop. His grandfather had built this company from nothing, a single freight office in 1987. Now it had 4 floors, 200 employees, and contracts worth tens of millions. And in 3 months, his grandfather was stepping down and handing the company to Ethan. But Ethan refused to walk in as the heir. Not yet. He had watched too many companies collapse because the people at the top had no idea what was happening below them. He wanted to know the truth, not the polished version people show you when they know who you are, the real version, the one that only exists when nobody is watching. So he made a deal with his grandfather. Give him 60 days. No announcement, no introduction. Let him work as a contract cleaner and see what he finds. His grandfather had laughed, then agreed. That was 6 days ago. So far, Ethan had learned 2 things. The floors were clean. The people were not. He was mopping near the elevator bank when she first spoke to him. Her name was Rachel, Assistant Director of Operations. Late 30s, the kind of person who had decorated her office with her own awards. She walked with the energy of someone who believed that being in charge of a floor made her a different species than the people cleaning it. She stopped 3 feet away from him. She did not look at him the way people look at other people. She looked at him the way you look at furniture you are deciding whether to move. You're blocking the path, she said. Ethan stepped aside without a word. Make sure the lobby is dry before the client meeting, she said, already walking away. If someone slips and there's a claim, it comes out of the facility's budget. That means your contract. She said it loud enough that 2 other employees heard. They did not look up from their phones. Ethan finished mopping. He said nothing. He moved to the next section, but he did not forget. The break room was a daily education. People ate and forgot the walls had ears. Or maybe they just did not care who was in the room. Either way, Ethan heard everything. On day 3, a group from the marketing floor settled near the window. One of them, a guy with slicked hair and an expensive watch, glanced over at Ethan and said it loud enough to be a performance. New cleaning guy looks confused, like he's never seen a coffee machine before. Laughter. A woman with a high ponytail added, I mean, as long as he doesn't try to sit with us at lunch, we're fine. More laughter. Ethan kept wiping down the counter. His jaw was tight. His eyes were calm. The part that got him was not the cruelty. It was how easy it was for them. How little effort it took. Like stepping on something on the sidewalk without breaking your stride. He had been humiliated in that room 4 times in 6 days. Every time, he filed it away, not with anger, with clarity. Then there was Marcus. Marcus had been with the company for 11 years. He was the longest-serving facilities worker in the building. 52 years old, quiet, thick-handed, the kind of man who showed up early and left late and never once asked to be recognized for it. Employees called him the old guy on the second floor. Some didn't know his name at all. The first time Ethan worked alongside him, Marcus handed him a bottle of the right cleaning solution without being asked. "This one's better for the tile near the kitchen," he said simply. "The other one leaves streaks." Ethan thanked him. Marcus just nodded and went back to work. Over the next few days, Ethan watched him. Marcus never complained, never gossiped. He talked to the security guard in the lobby every morning like they were old friends, because they were. He always made sure the shared supply closet was organized before he left, even though it was not his responsibility. On day 8, during a short lunch break, Marcus offered Ethan half of his sandwich. "Made too much," he said, not making eye contact. "Doesn't make sense to throw it out." Ethan took it. He ate it slowly. Something about that simple gesture cracked something open in his chest. He had eaten at Michelin-starred restaurants. He had sat in first-class cabins on transatlantic flights, and he could not remember the last time a meal had meant something to him. He looked at Marcus and thought, "This man deserves better than what this building has given him." That thought did not leave him. Day 11. The incident happened on a Thursday afternoon. It started with a missing petty cash envelope from the Employee Cooperative Fund. The fund was a small thing, around $400 collected monthly for birthday gifts, farewell parties, and small office events. Someone had reported that the envelope was short by $200. By 2 p.m., the whole second floor was buzzing. Rachel moved fast. She always moved fast when there was a public moment available. She gathered a group near the common area and announced with absolute certainty that she knew who was responsible: Marcus. She said he had been in the storage room near the fund box earlier that morning, that the timing was suspicious, and that in her professional judgment, this was not the first time something had gone missing when he was around. She did not have evidence. She had a tone, and that was enough for most people in that room. Marcus was standing at the edge of the group when she said it. He had come in to replace the water jug in the corner. He stood very still, holding the jug with both hands, and said quietly, "I didn't touch anything in there except the shelf where the jugs go." Rachel looked at him like he had said something absurd. "We'll let HR sort it out," she said. HR was notified within the hour. Marcus was given a formal warning and told to expect a follow-up investigation. His supervisor, who had known him for years, said nothing in his defense. Not one word. Marcus walked out of the HR office with his head down and went back to work. He did not cry. He did not argue. He just picked up his supplies and went to the 4th floor and started cleaning. Ethan watched him from the stairwell. His hand was gripping the railing. That night, Ethan stayed late. The building emptied out by 7 p.m. He walked to the security office on the ground floor and asked the overnight guard, a man named Sam, who had spoken to him a few times in passing, if he could review the corridor footage from that morning. Sam hesitated. Ethan held his gaze. "I think the wrong person got blamed today. I just need 2 minutes." Sam pulled up the footage. The timestamp showed 8:47 a.m. Marcus entered the storage room, placed the water jug on the shelf marked Facilities, and walked out. He was in the room for 31 seconds. He never went near the cabinet where the fund box was stored. Ethan asked Sam to export the clip. Sam did it without asking why. Ethan walked to his car, sat in the driver's seat, and stared at the steering wheel for a long moment. He had what he needed, but he also had a decision to make. He could act now, pull back the curtain tonight, make calls, and end this before the morning. Or he could wait, finish the 60 days, see everything. He thought about Marcus cleaning the 4th floor with a warning letter in his file, a letter he did not deserve. And Ethan made his decision. Tomorrow, it ended tomorrow. He arrived the next morning in a different car, a black Cadillac CT6, clean, silent, serious. He wore a slate gray suit, no tie, hair clean, posture straight. The security guard at the front desk stood up without being asked. Word traveled fast inside buildings. By the time Ethan reached the 3rd floor conference room, 14 people were already seated and 4 more were filing in, including Rachel, who walked in smiling and extended her hand. "I don't think we've met," she said. "I'm Rachel, Assistant Director of Operations." Ethan shook her hand once. "I know," he said. She laughed lightly. "The professional kind. Are you joining us from the parent company?" Ethan did not answer immediately. He looked around the room slowly, the way you look at a room you are seeing for the first time even though you have been inside it for weeks. "Let's get started," he said. He opened the monitor behind him. No presentation, no slide deck, just a video. 31 seconds of corridor footage. Marcus entering the storage room. Marcus placing the jug. Marcus leaving the fund cabinet untouched, not even approached. The room went very quiet. Then Ethan spoke. On Thursday afternoon, a man with 11 years of service to this company was publicly accused of theft. He was given a formal HR warning. His reputation, which is the only thing any of us actually own, was damaged in front of his colleagues. He paused. "And none of you said a word. Nobody moved. I've been in this building for 12 days, Ethan continued. Not as a consultant. Not as an auditor. I was the guy mopping the lobby on Monday morning. I was the guy you told to clear the path near the elevator. I was the guy some of you talked about in the break room like he wasn't standing 6 feet away." Rachel's face had gone pale. She was looking at him now with the expression of someone who had just stepped off a curb and found no ground beneath them. "I came here because I needed to know what this company actually is," Ethan said. "Not what it looks like in a board report. What it is. The culture, the character, who people are when they think nobody important is watching." He let that land. "What I found is that this building runs on 2 separate sets of rules. One for the people with titles, one for everyone else." He looked directly at Rachel. "And I found that some people in leadership positions have confused authority with ownership. They've confused managing a team with being better than the people on it." Rachel opened her mouth. Ethan raised one finger. Not aggressively, just firmly. She closed it. He called Marcus into the room. Marcus came in still wearing his work uniform. He looked around at the faces, all turned toward him, and he stood the way he always stood, quietly, without pretense, not sure if this was another interrogation or something else entirely. Ethan walked to him and extended his hand. Marcus shook it. 11 years, Ethan said. On time every day. 0 disciplinary issues before yesterday. The kind of worker every company claims they want and then treats like furniture when they find him. He turned to the room. Effective today, Marcus moves into the role of Facilities Operations Coordinator. Salary adjustment included. The warning letter issued yesterday is being voided and removed from his file before he leaves this building today. Marcus did not speak for a moment. Then his jaw moved and he pressed his lips together and looked at the ceiling the way people do when they are fighting something behind their eyes. He nodded once. That was all. The room was silent. Not the tense kind of silence, the heavier kind. The kind that settles in after something true has been said. After the meeting, Rachel was escorted to HR. Her employment was terminated before noon. Ethan requested a brief private conversation with her before she left the building. She sat across from him in the small conference room near the lobby. Her blazer was still on. Her posture was still straight out of habit, but the confidence was gone. What remained looked smaller. Ethan spoke quietly. What you did to Marcus was wrong. You know that. I'm not going to explain it to you because you're not confused about it. You made a choice. She looked at the table. But losing this job doesn't have to be the thing this day is remembered for. He slid a card across the table. It had a program name on it, a leadership development and ethics course his company had funded for workforce transitions. If you decide to use that, someone there will help you figure out what you actually want to build, not what you want to control. Rachel looked at the card for a long time. She picked it up. She did not thank him, but she did not put it down either. She stood, pulled her bag over her shoulder, and walked out. The weeks that followed were different. Not dramatically different. Not the kind of change that gets announced in a staff memo, but different in the specific way that rooms change when the pressure inside them finally releases. People held doors open. They said good morning to the facilities team by name. The break room conversations changed tone. Not completely, not immediately, but enough. Ethan did not make a speech about culture or values. He did not send an all-staff email about respect or inclusion. He just kept showing up. He knew where every broken hinge was in the building. He knew which hallway light flickered at 4 p.m. He knew the security guard's daughter had just started high school. He knew these things because he had been in the building when nobody thought he mattered. And now that everyone knew he did not use that knowledge to punish. He used it to build. 3 months later, Ethan stood in his grandfather's office. His grandfather was 81, thin now where he used to be broad, but the eyes were still sharp, still measuring. Well, the old man said. Ethan sat down across from him. The infrastructure is solid, he said. The contracts are strong. The financials are what you said they were. And the people? Ethan was quiet for a moment. Mostly good, he said finally. Some didn't know how to act until they had to. A few used their positions to make themselves feel bigger than they were. One man worked here for 11 years and was treated like he was invisible. His grandfather nodded slowly. He did not look surprised. And what did you do about that? What you would have done, Ethan said eventually. His grandfather was quiet. Then he made a sound that was somewhere between a laugh and a sigh and leaned back in his chair. You ready? He asked. Ethan looked out the window at the building below, the lobby where he had mopped the floor, the elevator bank where he had been told to move, the break room where he had been the subject of someone's joke. Yeah, he said. He stood. I was ready the first morning. What they never knew was this: Marcus had applied for a coordinator role twice before. Both times he had been passed over. Both times Rachel had reviewed the applications. Both times she had marked them as unqualified. Ethan found this in the files on his second day as the building's acting head. He never told anyone. Some things do not need to be announced to be corrected. The man who mops your floor might be the one who decides what happens to it. You never know who is watching. But more importantly, you should behave as if it doesn't matter.